It's live on YouTube. Oops. There's live on Facebook. Privacy, public. What's up? What's up? What's up? HPW back at you. 2021.
Back.
We're
back.
2021.
First one of the
year. I'm excited. Actually, I'm excited for what's going to happen in 2021.
Well, I wish I was as excited for what's actually going on in professional wrestling as I am about these guests that we got lined up. But
right.
I'm just gonna look straight up like a little prereq here. I pro wrestling the way it is now. It had nothing to do, and I hope the people who are going to be coming on the show, if they're watching this, nothing. I'm not saying about anything talent related. Those guys are great athletes, but the writing on 95% of these shows are absolutely horrible.
I agree.
That's just in a fan's perspective.
I agree.
I think it's garbage.
I have a question for you, Matt, on that. When you say that, I wonder, back in the 80s or in the 90s, the Attitude Era and all the WCWs and the ECWs, where they did it all, I wonder if, because wrestling's been around for so long, is it the fact that there's no new stuff to do? I mean, it's all been done, and because you and I were raised up and we watched it 30 some years ago, is that why we're frustrated because we're not seeing anything new?
I don't think it's the new. And honestly, there's most of mine just frustrated that they have this talent and they're not using it the way. And again, all opinions. They're not giving them the ability to show off what they could do.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I 100% agree. I agree on that point. I just wonder if they're just nothing else, because they are grasping at straws, and it's become, I don't know, it's become painful to watch at times.
Well, I think Vince has too much. I understand. You're drinking some a Stinger cup.
Stinger water.
Hold on.
Yeah. I don't think Vince is. I don't know. He has nothing left to prove, actually, in my opinion.
Rip it.
Rip it. There it is. He's back.
We're bringing the Rip it back.
Rip it's back. Right.
I think with the state of WWE, Vince is still very much in control of what's going on.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he's too far into. You look at who's running NXT, and that's the best show out of all three. I'm sorry. SmackDown is actually starting to evolve into a better show than Raw. But NXT is being ran by Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Right.
And I believe the writers and the creative over there on SmackDown is also Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
I don't know, but they got competition with. I mean, my favorite show is, I'll be honest, is AEW, and but again, there you have it. It's ran by Cody Rhodes, and
Well, the booking itself isn't booked completely by Cody,
right.
and it shows because I think if Cody was given 100% creative control, it'd be a better show.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is, I mean, it'd be okay. What AEW, in my opinion, is say you and me had billions of dollars. We wanted to own our own wrestling company. That's basically what Tony Khan did. He's like, I want to own my own wrestling company because I love wrestling.
Yeah.
So what do if you're a wrestling fan? You go get those guys like.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You get the big names that are past their prime.
Right.
And again, Sting, one of the top 5 all-time greatest performers. But does he belong in the ring in 2021? Probably not.
We'll see. He has an up-and-coming match, so we'll talk about that. Want to get started on Raw? What do you think?
Yeah. Like we discussed briefly on the phone. All 3 shows this week were honestly, I didn't take notes. There was nothing noteworthy on Raw, NXT or SmackDown or AEW. There, I mean, other than we'll get to the stuff on AEW, but Raw had maybe 4 segments out of a 3-hour show that were
huge,
decent.
Right. I don't know if there'd be any huge pops on that show. A couple were like, oh, okay. But
my big one for that show was when Edge announced that he was going to be in the Rumble.
Right, and I agree.
That was the best promo of the week. If we're going to go promo of the week, I think that Edge talking about when he was part of the Brood and when he was Edge and Christian and when he was a kid, he wanted to be a pro wrestler, and his mom said, "Hey, just go and do it."
Right. And I think that was a great promo, but I think, again, it was predictable. You knew he was coming back. And I believe that Raw, unfortunately, WWE, unfortunately, don't have 30 talent that can that's on their current roster, that they can just put in that over-the-top Battle Royal. They have to go back and get those guys like Edge, like I heard Carlito might show up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that dumb guy with the sock.
Santino Marella doesn't have any association with WWE.
No, well, that's good because that's a loser. But they have to revert back into for the Stings and to the guys to fill those spots. And I think it's awesome that Edge would commit like that. But on that note, Edge is in great shape. Edge probably has a couple more matches or a couple more years. And I will compare it to NFL quarterbacks that need to get out of the Dodge or think they can get one more Super Bowl. Brett Favre, all you Packer fans, sorry. Tom Brady, all you Patriots and
Tom Brady being 42 years old, he's a stud.
But he's gonna go out. He's gonna go out a loser, bro.
I'm
that's it's a no-brainer. But I think Edge possibly could win the Royal Rumble. If you could do that, you could give that to him. Goldberg, on the other hand, is like a Brett Favre. He needs to sit home and collect those unemployment check. But
well, okay, now
because you're next.
What? You say you talking Goldberg needs to stay home, but your boy Sting is over there in AEW collecting paycheck.
Hey, dude, he needs to show up. I mean, he's got a match here on the end of the month. I think it's a street fight. He's got to show up. So
Goldberg's got a match.
Yeah. Well.
And
let's get original.
I really hope that they don't let him win that match.
Let him spear. That'd be ridiculous. And if they let him win it by Spear and McIntyre and somehow McIntyre beats the living heck out of Goldberg, and the Miz comes down and wins the championship because he cashes in his stupid Money in the Bank, which is a worthless piece of trash. Um, that's what I would expect. I wouldn't be surprised if some stupid scenario like that's gonna play out. But anyways, that Edge promo was really good. Talking about brought his mom into the picture. I think every mom ought to be as encouraging as his mom was, and encourage him, do what you want, reach for your passion, And I know we had a mom and dad that did that, and I know our spouses had moms and dads that did that, and I think that's important, and I think that was a good promo to support mom and dad, So great promo.
That was my like the moment of the night. Like that was the one thing that was like, all right, that's the biggest thing that, in my opinion.
I think another big,
Blisses,
yeah.
It was different.
It was different, but again, like I said, we all expected Edge to come in, and again, you expected Randy Orton to show up somewhere. What is that?
Legend Killer.
There you go. It was, you expected that to happen, that he'd show up and do something. And if we're all watchers and fans of the game, you knew he was going to RKO somebody.
Well, I didn't expect them to RKO Alexa Bliss.
Oh, no?
I was like,
she needs to be RKO'd. She needs to be put in the ground with her fiend boyfriend or whatever his name is.
I was kind of expecting them to punt her.
That would have been cool as heck too. Set her up and punt her. That's it, I mean, that segment got a B+ in my opinion. It was a good segment. She's a freak, but she's great at what she does. I mean, she's been in so many different roles in WWE since she's been around, and and every role she looks good in.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you on the phone, this is a lot of cinematic stuff, and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the cinematic stuff.
Well, we were going to talk about. We were talking earlier. Why, with the state of wrestling, I really think not having fans in the crowd makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And I can't wait to be able to talk to our guest about that.
Right.
I'm sure. Shane Taylor.
Yeah, Shane Taylor.
From ROH, I'm sure he's dealing with no. They're still doing TV taping.
Yeah.
And
a lot of
I'm
questions.
not able to catch his stuff. Unfortunately, if Shane's watching this, I'm truly sorry. But not sure if ROH is watching or is with crowds or not. But that's just something that I just want to see what the athletes themselves are thinking,
right,
and like how they go about preparing for a match that's not in front of a live crowd.
Absolutely.
It'd be like as a basketball player or whatever, just having a practice.
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 We're gonna practice. You don't talk about practice. I'm talking about game time situation. You want to talk about practice?
That's the way I'm seeing it. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Is that how? Is that how they're feeling? Like, what? I just want to. That's my kind of one of my questions.
Man, I got to plug. You talk about Shane Taylor. Yeah, we're gonna. Huge Pop Wrestling has a lot gonna happen in the month of February, and we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But Matt, as you are saying, Shane Taylor's busy. He just collaborated with somebody. Look him up on Facebook. Yeah, they just did a new entrance song, so look him up. You got time to do that.
That last segment, where Goldberg and Drew took out Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
That was a fun segment. It was. Fun, but
it was a
really,
fun.
Does it really belong where it was?
No.
I mean,
No.
It was
correct.
But they're the Miz and Morrison.
Correct.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. We're Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
What a bunch of tools. I don't know.
I will say this. What they're doing is kind of foolish right now. But, like, I over the last few years, actually getting a chance to watch Mike Mizanin, on his reality show, and like he just seemed like a guy that if he wasn't in the WWE, he'd be on this podcast.
Right.
You know, he's a down there kind of guy. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. He's like as a human being, I think he'd be cool to just hang out with.
Correct.
You are correct.
He'd be cool to hang out with, but dude, he's not a champion, man. I don't think.
Well, I think more of a intercontinental kind of champion.
Yes, I agree with that.
He's not a main eventer anymore.
Nope. Correct. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. I'm sorry.
You are correct.
You ever watch them say that? Back and forth, they go, correct.
Yeah, Morrison does it more than anybody.
Yes, he does. But anyways.
Correct.
Who's sick of Charlotte Flair and Shayna Baszler? No, not Shayna Baszler, but Lacey Evans. Other than Lacey Evans being hot, who's tired of Charlotte Flair and that segment with Ric Flair, who's like 105?
It's not Shayna Baszler. It's
Lacey Evans.
Right.
Lacey Evans. Whatever. I don't know. She's just that whole segment. To me, it's a filler segment because they can't come up with anything else.
I think we can both agree that the Nature Boy needs to find himself in a retirement home.
The Nature Boy. He's around his own. I got him somewhere. Right up there. Yeah, Nature Boy. Go home.
He needs to be in a retirement home.
He needs to go to DDP's yoga or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But no, that's just to me. Didn't they do that angle, Matt, about a couple years ago when Charlotte got mad at her dad and pushed her dad? Didn't they do that? I've seen that angle before. I thought.
With the Becky Lynch
issue.
They basically did the same thing with Becky.
Boring. But then you have Nia Jax, who's huge as heck, and Shayna Baszler and Lacey Evans and Dana Brooks and Mandy Rose and Charlotte Flair. For a big woman, Nia Jax she's a good athlete. But that was like a wash match, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, matches I really wish they'd have people in the crowd or be able to have people in the crowd because it just
right.
I think the athletes are starting to get to that point of like, there's only so much you can do, and the adrenaline rush isn't there. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I did like what they did with after the Retribution and Xavier Woods. Ali, he got a good promo, and that segment that was pretty good. And Ali's finally coming around to being the boss, and that was cool. He announced himself in for the Royal Rumble. he's not going to win it by any means. But that that promo he cut was pretty good, pretty solid. So,
well, since we're talking Rumble real quick before we go on to NXT, there's only been Edge, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, Mustafa Ali, Jeff Hardy, Cesaro, Otis, Shinsuke, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Jey Uso, John Morrison, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, Daniel Bryan, Big E, and Randy Orton.
how many is that?
Well, you have 13 more people.
Right. Now there's Matt Riddle's in there, isn't it? Did he get in there?
Not yet.
Because he had that gauntlet match with MVP, so he probably won't be in it because he has a title match against Lashley, which he's gonna get killed in. But
well,
I just like his broski stuff.
I love this card in general.
The Royal Rumble?
Yeah. The Royal Rumble, honestly, my opinion, is my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's better. In my opinion, it's better than than Mania.
Oh, you're gonna go say that, huh?
I think
they better bring it then.
Huh?
They better bring it, because look at this. I got the WrestleMania shirt from last year. That didn't happen. They're going to try this year to make it happen?
Well, this year you have the two Rumbles, the men's and women's.
Right.
Then you have the only match on the card that's garbage is the McIntyre-Goldberg match. But you have AO and Roman in a last man standing match that has potential. I'm going to throw it out there before the match even begins. 2021 match of the year. If they do it right.
I think if they do it right, you don't see Reigns as a champion.
Kevin Owens should win that championship.
I think if you do it right, you're going to see that. But I don't know.
Then you have the women's tag championship match: Asuka and Charlotte the champs versus Nia and Shayna.
I think you're going to see Charlotte and Asuka lose and start a feud between each other, so Charlotte can come in and have a thing with Asuka for the championship. I think that's what you're going to see.
Well, I think you're going to see little Twisted Bliss get involved in that one.
I think so. So let's run it down. So you got McIntyre versus Goldberg. Who you got?
True. If they give the strap to Goldberg, I don't know what I'll do. I hate the fact that that's a possibility.
I think you're gonna see, because they got to do something with that Money in the Bank. You know what I'm saying? They have to do something with that Money in the Bank. And whether he cashes in and loses it, or he cashes in and wins it, it's gonna be at that. I mean, because it has to be for a championship, right? That's what the Money in the Bank is, right?
Yeah.
So you're either gonna win it. There's gonna be a title change. It's relevant. It's there's no, you can't stop that, and it sucks because I think that they take it off of. I mean, I'd rather have Goldberg have the belt than Miz, and I think you're gonna see Miz having the belt for some reason, and to lose it at Fastlane. I think it's in Fastlane the next pay-per-view.
No, Elimination Chamber.
Okay, so he'll lose that to Elimination Chamber. So I don't know. This is just my opinion. I give it to. I don't know.
Well, here, I don't think he cashes in. But he's a entrant in the Rumble.
Okay.
I don't think he cashes in at the Rumble. That just doesn't make any sense. Why would you cash in at the Rumble and then go compete in the?
Because he's gonna get tossed over the rope the first chance he gets. He ain't gonna make them through the Rumble. No way.
But, well, no. What I'm saying is, like, why would he compete in the Rumble if he has the belt already? That doesn't make sense.
Well, story writing for WWE doesn't make sense. So
I'm gonna say that he cashes in at Elimination Chamber.
So my pick is McIntyre, but loses the belt to Miz. So
I'm gonna go Drew wins and no cash in.
Reigns versus Owens.
Now, are we going who we want to win or who's going to win? Because there's two different things.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with. I
want to see Kevin Owens as the Universal Champion.
But does it make sense?
I just don't think they'll do it.
No.
Roman Reigns is too hot.
Yeah, they're not gonna take it off Roman Reigns. I say Roman Reigns. I want Kevin Owens to win, but Roman Reigns is gonna blow him up, and I think you're gonna see Brock Lesnar. I think you're gonna see a bunch of you can see a lot of things happen in that match. So, see. Charlotte, Asuka, Nia Jax, Baszler. I say Nia Jax and Baszler win.
I think they win too, and I think you're gonna have a little cameo since Alexa Bliss doesn't have anything to do that night. I think she gets involved and screws over Asuka.
You think? Okay, so let's go women's Royal Rumble.
Right now, participants are Nia, Charlotte, Bayley, Bianca, Andy Rhodes, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Shayna, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Tamina. And I have a feeling you're going to see there's going to be two surprises in that one. There'll be two surprise returns. My two surprises are going to be Sonya Deville. I think she comes back because she's been gone for a while. And I think Becky Lynch returns.
You said something. I just thought this through. I believe Becky Lynch comes back. Brian Liskey says he wants to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. I think Becky Lynch comes back, and I also think you'll see a couple of NXT entrances, and can't remember the lady's name from NXT. She's the one that put the girl through the speakers.
Are you talking Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, I guess you can see Rhea Ripley over here. I believe Becky Lynch shows up and wins the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to tell you why. I think Seth Rollins shows up and wins the Royal Rumble.
And then goes one-on-one with
Just saying. Where were they at together before they left?
They were both champs.
Nope. Becky gave up her championship. Seth Rollins just a douchebag. But he better come back with a new character. But I think he shows up and he plays a big part in who wins the Royal Rumble for sure. Or he could come out and help Roman Reigns as he's getting his ass beat by Brock Lesnar or some stupid person, and he saves the day. There's a reunification of the Shield because Moxley comes from AEW because he can do it and he can join the Shield again, and that's far fetched.
That's kind of funny. there's somebody, I think it was like Carl Anderson, said he's declaring himself eligible for
Yeah.
the Rumble.
So who knows?
Start over. We'll take you.
I say Becky Lynch. Either that or Rhea Ripley.
Over in the men's side, I think you're gonna see. I kind of hope to see Samoa Joe come back.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping.
That'd be nice.
I'd like to see Seth Rollins return. And now.
You think the Fiend will show up?
Well, it depends. Depends on what's going on with Randy.
What's he doing this round? Is he doing anything in the Royal Rumble?
Randy's in the Royal.
Okay, that's all he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's rumors that the Fiend's gonna come back and he's gonna set the tropical field on fire and all this bull crap, and I'm like, nah, that'll never happen.
There's something that I found a little interesting. CM Punk.
That
He's
might
going to be back. He is. I'm not saying he's going to be in the Rumble. It'd be freaking amazing if he gets in it. But Punk is currently lined up to be the poster child or poster person for WWE 2K21.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mean that. So yeah.
He has contract still part
Hey, Facebook people, what's up?
He's still part of her contract with WWE. So yeah. I mean, if he's still under contract and doing video game stuff, say he doesn't say, you know what, let's lace him up one more time.
Lace him up more. Yeah, you could. You could make a return and get his
Phil Brooks.
Get his butt kicked by like Conor McGregor did in his return match to UFC. I mean,
Oh, he got his ass whooped.
That was I watched that and that was like, oh my god. So yeah. See you later,
Connor. He looked slow and out of shape.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So let's go to my show, man. AEW. Those are our picks for the Royal Rumble. Again, it's probably more wants than real picks, but it is what it is. Again, like Matt said, there really wasn't much to talk about on the AEW or NXT. I didn't even watch NXT, to be honest with you. So Matt, you're gonna have to carry that part. But
didn't miss much.
Eddie Kingston, he fought Lance Archer, and I'll remember this match forever because people like that are as big as Jake the Snake Roberts, big as me, don't need to be hanging out around a wrestling ring, especially getting involved in AEW, man. Dude, next time you're gonna throw a big man like that down the entrance ramp, make sure he has a shirt to cover his belly. So that was disappointing. I'm just saying it was disappointing. It was rather disgusting. Anyways, Jake, I love you. I used to watch you when you pulled that snake out of the bag, and you were in shape then. But Eddie Kingston defeated Lance Archer, but he cheated. Of course, the bunny lady, the girl in the black spandex, had him a thing to put on his hand and smacked him. He won that match, and of course they brought out Jake the Snake to put up his face to show him that his guy's getting beat. So that was an okay match, but again, Eddie Kingston, you can't win a match. You couldn't beat Cody Rhodes. You couldn't beat whoever you fought. You couldn't beat Moxley. That was a good storyline, though. That Moxley Eddie Kingston storyline was a good storyline. That was one of the best storylines of 2020, to be honest with you. But you couldn't win then, Eddie. You can't win now. So without cheating. But that was the first match. I don't know. Did you watch AEW, man?
I caught highlights of it.
You watch any highlights of that match?
I watched. I think I did catch a couple minutes of that match. Those two guys, if they would leave Jake out of it and just let the two big fellas beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. No outside interference.
Absolutely.
Just let them go at it.
I mean, Lance Archer's a stud, man.
No, that's the thing. Why you find it necessary to give Lance Archer a manager? There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
None.
Right. You're gonna. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I get it. I understand what they're dealing with Don Callis. But Kenny doesn't need anybody.
Cody doesn't need anybody. He doesn't need Arn Anderson. Darby Allin doesn't need Sting. You're right. That's one thing that I kind of shake my head at. Why are we bringing all these old guys to be managers? If they're not in shape to wrestle, they don't need to be here.
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Like I said a little bit ago, who's running AEW?
Yep.
$1 million fan.
Yeah.
No disrespect for Tony Khan, because hell, hey, if I was a billionaire, I'd own a wrestling business too.
Right.
But there's no need to bring back guys who were relevant in the 90s.
Absolutely.
None. There's a reason why Triple H and Shawn Michaels and
stay behind the scenes.
John Cena and all these guys, they're done.
Yep.
And they're younger than these guys that are in the ring.
Yep. The next segment on that show was you see Sting and Darby Allin in a empty warehouse. Of course, empty warehouses, they have broken windows in it already. So that was the backdrop, and they got a match up against Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. By the way, I think they're missing the boat with Ricky Starks. He's a great up-and-coming high flyer, and they need to utilize him better, but that's just on me. And
I really would love to see Ricky Starks turn on Brian Cage.
Yeah.
I think take F you know what I mean?
I think you're going to see that soon.
He's amazing.
I think you're going to see that soon. I think because that Taz fraction can't stay around very much, but they got this big at Revolution. Sting, I guess Taz has called Sting and Darby Allin hoodlums, and Sting was like, "Yeah, you call us hoodlums," and they panned over to Darby Allin, and Darby says, "I'm from the streets. I've lived in the streets." So he goes, "That makes me a hoodlum." He takes his skateboard, he tosses it through the window, and comes over to Sting, and Sting says, "I'm a hoodlum too," and he bashes the windows out 4 or 5 times, and that was the end of the promo. I don't know. I hope, like I said, Matt, I'm a Sting. Sting's my favorite wrestler of all times. I hope that when he gets in the ring, if he realizes he can't do it anymore, he stops. Or he looks so good that didn't miss a beat. I hope he looks better than people are going to give him credit for. But that was a good promo, kind of. Not the best promo, not like an Edge promo. But that was a good promo, in my opinion. But, of course, I'm a Sting fan, so I guess I'd say that, man. Then we went to MJF and Jericho beating up on the Varsity Blondes. Because...
you do realize that that's Brian Pillman's son, right?
Which one?
Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was... Yeah.
That's cool.
That match needed probably to be a lot shorter than it was.
He beat up on him. You know why? Because he's better than you.
And you know it.
I did not know that was Brian Pillman's son. That's awesome. I used to love watching Brian Pillman in
Brian.
Only WCW, right?
Yep. And he's the one that had that angle with Stone Cold with the dog.
Yeah. So then we went to a commercial break, and we came back, and we had Cody Rhodes in the ring with Arn Anderson, and first of all,
about Shaquille O'Neal,
first of all,
he's relevant in wrestling.
Right. So first of all, you got Shaq, you got Shaquille O'Neal running his big fat mouth. Shaq, come at me, baby, come at me. Running your mouth. You have no business in a ring.
He didn't have any business back when he was NWO.
He didn't have no business playing basketball on a basketball court. Oh. Did I say that? Jack. Next. So you
the next match.
So wait. Hold up. So you're gonna challenge Cody Rhodes with that bimbo, whatever her name is, I can't remember her name. But Velvet Sky. I think that's her name. Red Velvet or something like that. Man, I can't wait. That'd be awesome. I hope they beat him up. And Shaq, I hope you don't get too hurt. Go ahead.
The next match was the Hangman versus Ryan Nemeth. You know who Ryan Nemeth is, right? Please tell me you know who Ryan Nemeth is.
I can't, man.
Dolph Ziggler's little brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. See, man, I'm glad I have you on this. I'm glad we partner up on this show because you know all this backstory stuff. Where do you find this stuff at?
Well, they had it on a dirt sheet that Dolph's real name is Nick
Okay.
Nemeth. They both wrestled for the University of Toledo, for college, and I guess Ryan, he wasn't what WWE was looking for, so he's all like, screw it, I'll go to these guys. And so, honestly, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if when Dolph's contract runs out,
He'll show up.
So he'll be. I look for that.
Right. So the next two matches after that were Britt Baker, and that was nothing. And then
Jungle Boy versus Hardwood was the next one.
Yeah, but that was a garbage match, I thought, in my opinion.
Huh?
That was a garbage match, in my opinion. I can't stand FTR and Shivani and whatever his name is. Blanchard, Tony Blanchard. You're
Shayna
like,
versus Britt. That was garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Then we had the Young Bucks and Good Brothers versus Dark Order.
The Dork Order.
The Dork Order. I will say this. I give all respect for them for. I believe that's Brody's son, right?
Isn't
that Brody's son? Little kid.
No, because the little kid, yeah.
Yeah, the little kid's his son, you know, and that's. I give AEW respect for trying doing that angle, you know, and that probably makes the kid help him deal with what's going on, you know. So I like that. But the show week before, you had the Young Bucks show up at Kenny Omega's house, and they were met by the guy from Impact, which whatever Callis, and Callis had a picture of him and Omega in his living room or whatever. And
I gotta ask you a question. For you, because I do watch that on YouTube. I catch TNA highlights.
Yeah.
Were you as disturbed as I was by that painting?
Yeah, that was a bad painting, bro. I was like, no, come on.
Him and Don Callis,
shirtless,
and like their shirts were all open.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Their jeans were unbuttoned.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was disturbing, man. And then they started an angle with the Young Bucks being a disturbance. They should have said this. The painting was a disturbance, not the Young Bucks. But Callis said that the Young Bucks were holding Omega back and da 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 da. And So the Young Bucks at the end of the match attacked, or they were making with the Good Brothers or whatever, and Moxley shows up just as Kenny Omega shows up and pile drives that Punk into the mat. I thought that was one of the huge pops of the night. Kenny Omega gets what he deserves, and he gets pile drive or whatever Moxley's move is into the mat. So that was AEW.
One quick, like I mentioned this to you, but the people that watch or the person who watches or whoever does watch our show, um, I do I I listen to other people's podcasts. I read all these dirt sheets and all that. Um, I um watched a little bit of New Japan, and that the New Japan stuff started the Bullet Club, and from what I understand, uh, Bullet Club Tamatanga is one of the founding members, and he's absolutely mind over the reunion. And I thought that was kind of interesting how he called out Penny for wearing a Bullet Club shirt to the ring at the last TNA pay per view. But anyway, NXT when Scott comes back. So, uh, I'm wondering.
Yeah, NXT. I didn't watch NXT honestly. Um, my world didn't let me watch NXT. I got so much going on, so I would not be able to talk about NXT. So if we don't want to discuss NXT, we can share with the fans.
NXT honestly didn't really have any. They kicked off the Dusty Rhodes Classic. As their yearly tag team championship or tag team tournament. And then they had the inaugural, the first ever women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic kicked off on Wednesday night as well. That had Rockwell Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus Aaliyah and Jesse. Yeah. Gonzalez and Kai won that one. Tyler Rust versus Danny Garcia. They're gonna. I think they're gonna start trying to push the younger guys, and I think you're gonna see guys like. I'm hoping that you see guys like Undisputed Era, and then make the move to the main roster because they need something fresh up there. They need something a little bit different because like we've talked about with Raw and SmackDown, there's nothing new going on. They need something fresh on the main shows. Hopefully, they don't wait too long. Let's see what else was there. Tony Storm cut a promo on Io Shirai and Mercedes Martinez. They're gonna have a fatal triple threat match for the women's NXT championship. You have the colossal Bronson Reed versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Bronson Reed could another guy moved up to the main roster really soon. Bronson's been around for a while. I believe he did some time in ROH, but he's just a big dude that I think could be something. Could transform into something. And then Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. That was a pretty good match, but to be expected. Balor and O'Reilly won that one.
Do you think Balor's going to go join the Royal Rumble, or do you think he's set in NXT? What do you think?
I think he'll be in NXT for a while.
Yeah.
I would love to see Adam Cole enter.
Yeah. What about Adam Pearce, man?
Who?
Adam Pearce, isn't his name Adam Pearce, the dude that the backstage guy?
That jackass that's supposed to have a match against
Roman Reigns. I hope the guy that talk about Adam. I hope the guy that he doesn't come back and interfere and be the cause, one of the causes that Owens loses. Well, that's a shitty angle. That's something that WWE would do. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Sunday it'll be interesting.
To tell all I think of what direction WWE's going. I don't know if people know from our Facebook Live. We're keeping the same Facebook Live page. We're broadcasting, but we're going to share it over to our Huge Pop Wrestling page. So people go to Huge Pop Wrestling Facebook page. They can see it. But Matt and I have decided we're going to venture into our own YouTube page, and it's called Huge Pop Wrestling. We'll post links all over the place. Help us get subscribers. We're at 5. We're starting out. We want to see what we can do on our own. Help us out. Reach what we reach. We have goals. I think one of my goals is 100. If we reach 100, I'm willing to give up a Funko Pop. There's tons behind me. So a wrestling Funko Pop. And if we reach 200, I'm going to give away Rashiki autograph. 8x10. So,
share, like, and subscribe.
Share, like, and subscribe. And if you share, like, and subscribe, put your name in the comments below, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. And once we reach 100, we'll have all these names in the pot, and we'll draw one. And after we reach 200, you have the same opportunity to get into the drawing.
But we need 100 subscribers before we start giving stuff away.
Right. So February is going to be huge, man. Next week, I have the opportunity to sit down with on Wednesday, I think it is, with Logan Creed and Brooklyn Creed. They're an independent circuit. A lot of great information about those guys. I'll share on YouTube. Then we get to sit down with Shane Taylor of ROH.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's on February 5th, but it probably won't be uploaded till probably the evening of February 5th because we have to use Skype. So we're gonna do that one. Then on the 12th, there's a guy by the name of William Jones, ECW's own Chili Willy, back in the ECW days with where they did the barroom brawl, the hardcore stuff, so Chili Willy.
Just funny you see that or say that. I was scrolling through Facebook like I like to do, and ECW is making a return. I can't remember what date that they're looking at. They're going to have an ECW pay-per-view.
Nice. Maybe Chili Willy will show up.
But again, it's owned by WWE. They have all the rights to it. So WWE. Hopefully, they let a guy like Paul Heyman, who ran ECW at the original time,
right,
to let him have full creative. But
Then a week after that is a special interview with Chris Harris. Chris
That's
Harris.
a TNA guy.
Yeah, he WCW. He was with James Storm. And he was. I just read this. He appeared as the fake version of Sting in Halloween Havoc.
Really?
Yeah. So
Huh.
he wrestled WCW shows worldwide against Elix Skipper, Kurt Hennig, Shane Moore, Shane Douglas, and Booker T among the people he wrestled with. So that'd be interesting to listen to him too and pick his brain on the sport of wrestling. So lots happening. Last year was just weekly reviews. I think this year my brother and I are going to try to put some interviews together. I don't guarantee we're going to get 4 in a month. That's a lot of work. I'll be honest with you. A lot of work to put all that stuff together. But it's fun. Are you having fun, man? Matt, are you having fun doing it?
Loving it.
Loving it. So subscribe. Like the page. Follow us on Facebook and on YouTube.
Garrett, tell your friends.
Yeah, Jared, tell your friends. Not that you have to.
Drink Rip It.
Not that you have to. Drink some Rip It. Get some Stinger in your life. Get some water in your life. Not that you have to, but you know we sit back and we take some time out of our week and we share our thoughts on wrestling and there is a donate button on the bottom of the link on the bottom in the descriptions. You know and
we're not here for the YouTube money.
No, we're not. We're never gonna make the YouTube money. I mean, we're not. You know, and we don't plan on it. You know, but I know Matt. He has his boys. Him and his boy have their channel. What's it called, man?
Sports Dad and Drew.
Sports Dad and Drew.
We do unboxings and we do just goof around and we have a good time. We do blind taste test Pringles and Slim Jims and just do a snack time kind of deal.
Right. You can catch myself and my wife, Funko Mom Collector Dad over on Collector Dad's website or YouTube channel. We open these things up, Pokemon cards. Matter of fact, there's a Pokemon card break on Saturday. We got some Hidden Fates and got some Unified Minds. We just have fun. We open Funko Pops, mystery boxes. We have fun over at Collector Dad Corner, but support everybody. You know, it's what all it's about. We're fam. You know, we're family. We love just doing stuff together. So, Matt, any last words?
Actually, I'm gonna pull up one more thing that Andrew, hopefully, if he can figure it out, he wants to be on share his thoughts about the Royal Rumble next Thursday, because we're going to be Thursday instead of Friday for the weekly show, and then we'll have King Taylor on Friday as giving him all of our attention.
Right. So have a great weekend.
Andrew and I also are going to starting watch old school wrestling and wants to start watching what I was watching when he was my age. So and he wants to experience kind of see how it progresses and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be a good show, man. So check them on Sports Drew.
Sports Dad and Drew.
Sports Dad and Drew. I'll plug that into the descriptions of the video. Yeah, watch them. Go support him, man. He's 9 years old, isn't he, man? 8 years old. He's putting himself out there. I think he's even doing the polar bear plunge up in Michigan, man.
Yep.
So
and he says thank you.
No,
Uncle Scott and
no
Andy
problem. Rocket, man. Represent. So we're fam. We do it together. Do it for fun. I don't know if you caught the video or the live yesterday. I interviewed a friend of mine, Al Bush, from Gold Bar Status. He's a life coach. Thanks, Al, man. Check his site out too. He's just a life coach. It was interesting talking to him about finances and stuff, and it was cool. So That's what we are. We're HPW, Huge Pop Wrestling. Scott and Matt, we're brothers. Love doing what we're doing, and it's just a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time with you today, Matt. Peeps.
I'm gonna hold on a second here.
We got some cool stuff coming up, man. Uh-oh. We're gonna get out of here in style, right? Bow to your master. Peace out.